Solo Sakoa is in handcuffs right now. Yes, you heard that correctly, the self-proclaimed tribal chief is sitting in a jail cell because his pathetic attempt to frame Jacob Fatu for a car crash has blown up in his face. And if you think that's shocking, wait until you hear what Jacob Fatu did to MFT after finding out about Solo's disgusting betrayal. This isn't just wrestling drama anymore, people, this is real consequences for real actions, and Solo Sakoa is about to find out that when you mess with the Samoan werewolf, you get the fangs. But here's what's got me absolutely furious, and you should be too, WWE almost let Solo get away with this frame job. They were ready to suspend Jacob Fatu indefinitely based on Solo's lies until the truth came out. How many of our favorite wrestlers have been railroaded by backstage politics and false accusations? How many careers have been destroyed by people like Solo Sakoa who think they can manipulate the system? And don't you dare tell me this is just storyline because the arrest is real, the charges Solo is facing are real, and the legal consequences he's looking at could end his WWE career permanently. This is exactly why wrestlers like Jacob Fatu can't trust anyone in this business, even family will stab you in the back for power. Let me break down exactly how Solo's plan crumbled and why every wrestling fan should be outraged by what he tried to do. Last Tuesday night, Jacob Fatu was leaving the WWE Performance Center after a training session when his rental car was involved in a hit-and-run accident. The victim was hospitalized with serious injuries, and within hours, Solo Sakoa was feeding information to WWE management and local police suggesting that Jacob had been drinking and fled the scene. Solo even provided witness testimony, claiming he saw Jacob acting erratically earlier that day and smelled alcohol on his breath. He painted a picture of an out-of-control Jacob Fatu who was becoming a liability to WWE and the Bloodline. WWE executives were ready to terminate Jacob's contract on the spot, that's how convincing Solo's lies were. But here's where Solo's arrogance destroyed him, he got sloppy. Security footage from a nearby gas station showed Solo's own vehicle in the area at the time of the accident, and when investigators pulled the traffic cam footage, they caught Solo red-handed staging the entire thing. Not only was Jacob nowhere near the accident scene, but Solo had actually caused the crash himself and then tried to frame his own family member. The police arrested Solo at his hotel room at 6 a.m. this morning, and the charges are serious: vehicular assault, fleeing the scene of an accident, filing false police reports, and conspiracy to commit fraud. We're talking about felony charges that could put Solo behind bars for years and end his wrestling career forever. When Jacob Fatu found out what Solo had done, his reaction was volcanic. Sources backstage at SmackDown tell me that Jacob literally kicked down Solo's locker room door looking for him, but Solo was already in custody by then. So what did the Samoan werewolf do? He took his rage out on Solo's remaining allies, and MFT felt the full force of Jacob's fury. The brawl that followed was so intense that WWE had to bring in extra security just to contain Jacob Fatu. He was throwing grown men around like they were children, screaming about how Solo had tried to destroy not just his career, but his life. And can you blame him? This wasn't just wrestling politics, Solo literally tried to send Jacob to prison for a crime he committed. MFT tried to defend Solo, claiming Jacob was overreacting, and that's when all hell broke loose. Jacob hit MFT with a super kick so devastating that medical staff had to check for a concussion. Then he threw MFT through a catering table, grabbed him by the throat, and according to eyewitnesses, told him exactly what he thought about people who defend criminals and liars. The footage of this backstage destruction is absolutely insane, and WWE is trying to keep it under wraps because it shows just how far Solo's betrayal has pushed Jacob over the edge. But here's what really gets me fired up: there are still people defending Solo Sakoa online, claiming this is all part of some elaborate storyline. Are you kidding me? Triple H made an emergency announcement this morning that has sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. At SummerSlam, Jacob Fatu will face Solo Sakoa in a steel cage match for the United States Championship. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming: this match is happening whether Solo is out on bail or not. WWE's legal team has been working overtime to ensure that Solo can compete at SummerSlam, but only under strict conditions. If he's still in custody, the match will be postponed until he's released. If he's out on bail but restricted from traveling, SummerSlam might have to come to him. The lengths WWE is going to make this match happen proves just how much money and prestige is riding on this family feud. But let's talk about what this steel cage match really means. It's not just about the United States Championship anymore. This is about justice. Jacob Fatu isn't just fighting to reclaim a title, he's fighting to destroy the man who tried to ruin his life and send him to prison for crimes he didn't commit. The stipulations for this match are brutal: no disqualifications, no countouts, and the only way to win is by pinfall, submission, or escaping the cage. But here's the kicker that has me absolutely pumped. Triple H has announced that if Solo loses, he will be stripped of all Bloodline authority and banned from WWE television until his legal issues are resolved. I've been covering wrestling for over a decade, and I have never seen a betrayal this personal and this destructive. We've seen heel turns, we've seen families torn apart, but Solo Sakoa didn't just betray Jacob Fatu in the wrestling ring, he tried to destroy Jacob's real life, his freedom, and his future. Think about what could have happened if Solo's plan had worked. Jacob Fatu would be sitting in a jail cell right now, facing serious criminal charges, with his WWE career over and his reputation destroyed. His family would be ashamed, his children would grow up thinking their father was a criminal, and Solo would be laughing all the way to the bank as the undisputed tribal chief. This isn't the kind of betrayal you come back from with a handshake and a good match afterward. This is the kind of betrayal that ends relationships permanently and creates enemies for life. Jacob Fatu isn't just angry, he's out for blood, and rightfully so. And what makes this even more infuriating is that there are still fans online defending Solo, claiming Jacob is overreacting or that this is all scripted entertainment. Let me be crystal clear: when someone tries to frame you for a felony, when someone tries to send you to prison, when someone tries to destroy your life and your family's future, there is no overreaction. Jacob Fatu's rage is completely justified. Let's talk about the elephant in the room that WWE doesn't want to address. Solo Sakoa's legal troubles are real, and they could permanently end his wrestling career. The charges he's facing aren't just storyline drama, they're serious felonies that carry significant prison time and financial penalties. Vehicular assault with serious bodily injury is a third-degree felony in most states, carrying penalties of up to 10 years in prison and fines up to $10,000. Filing false police reports and conspiracy charges add additional years and fines. Even if Solo manages to plea bargain down to lesser charges, he's looking at mandatory jail time and a permanent criminal record. WWE has a morality clause in every wrestler's contract, and felony convictions typically result in immediate termination. Even if Solo beats the charges in court, the negative publicity and legal costs could make him too expensive and risky for WWE to keep on the roster. We've seen other wrestlers released for far less serious legal issues. But here's what really has me concerned: if Solo goes to prison, what happens to the United States Championship? WWE can't have an incarcerated champion, but they also can't just strip him of the title without a proper storyline resolution. That's why this steel cage match at SummerSlam is so crucial. It might be WWE's only chance to get the title off Solo before his legal situation becomes a complete disaster. Let's not forget about MFT's role in this whole mess, because his actions have been absolutely disgusting. Even after finding out that Solo framed Jacob Fatu for a serious crime, MFT still defended Solo and tried to justify his actions. What kind of person defends someone who tries to send an innocent man to prison? The brawl between Jacob Fatu and MFT backstage at SmackDown was the result of months of built-up frustration, but MFT's defense of Solo's criminal behavior was the final straw. When MFT had the audacity to tell Jacob that he should get over it and think about the bigger picture, Jacob snapped and unleashed years of pent-up aggression. Sources backstage tell me that MFT suffered a legitimate concussion from Jacob's super kick and had to be taken to a local medical facility for evaluation. While I never want to see anyone seriously injured, MFT brought this on himself by defending the indefensible. What makes MFT's position even more pathetic is that he's clearly terrified of standing up to Solo, even when Solo is obviously in the wrong. This is the kind of blind loyalty that enables criminals and allows corrupt people to maintain power. MFT would rather defend a felon than admit he's been following the wrong leader. The United States Championship has become the most controversial title in WWE because of Solo's legal troubles. How can WWE justify having a championship held by someone who's facing serious felony charges? How can they promote a champion who tried to frame his own family member for crimes? Jacob Fatu has a legitimate claim to that championship, not just because he's the #1 contender, but because he's been robbed of opportunities by Solo's criminal behavior. How many matches has Jacob lost because he was dealing with the stress and distraction of Solo's frame-up attempt? How many title shots has he been denied because WWE management believed Solo's lies? The steel cage match at SummerSlam isn't just about determining a champion, it's about correcting a massive injustice. Jacob Fatu deserves that United States Championship, and he deserves the chance to take it from the man who tried to destroy his life. But here's what has me really fired up: there are wrestling analysts online claiming that Solo deserves to keep the championship because he won it fairly in the ring. Are you kidding me? How can you win anything fairly when you're a criminal who frames innocent people for felonies? Solo's entire championship reign is tainted by his illegal actions. Looking ahead to SummerSlam, I have some bold predictions about how this steel cage match is going to unfold, and why Jacob Fatu is going to destroy Solo Sakoa in the most satisfying way possible. First, Solo is going to try every dirty trick in the book to retain his championship, but the steel cage environment favors Jacob's power and intensity. Solo's been relying on outside interference and cheap tactics for months, but there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide inside that steel structure. Second, Jacob's motivation is going to be unstoppable. This isn't just about winning a championship, it's about getting revenge on the man who tried to ruin his life. That kind of personal motivation creates a level of intensity that can't be matched by someone who's just trying to hold on to power. Third, I predict we're going to see the most violent and brutal match of Jacob Fatu's WWE career. All the anger, frustration, and betrayal he's been dealing with is going to explode in that steel cage, and Solo is going to pay the price for every lie he told and every scheme he orchestrated. But here's my boldest prediction: I don't think Solo Sakoa is going to make it to SummerSlam as a free man. His legal troubles are mounting, and I wouldn't be surprised if additional charges are filed before the pay-per-view. WWE might be forced to strip him of the championship and give Jacob Fatu the title by forfeit. This whole situation has destroyed the Bloodline as we know it, and honestly, good riddance. Solo's version of the Bloodline was built on lies, manipulation, and criminal behavior. It was never worthy of the legacy that Roman Reigns created, and Jacob Fatu deserves so much better than being associated with Solo's corruption. Jacob's inevitable victory at SummerSlam is going to mark the beginning of a new era, an era where talent and integrity matter more than politics and criminal schemes. Jacob Fatu represents everything the Bloodline should be: powerful, honorable, and dominant in the ring rather than in the courtroom. But the question remains, what happens to the Bloodline name after this? Can it ever recover from Solo's betrayal and criminal actions? Should Jacob Fatu even want to be associated with a group that produced someone like Solo Sakoa? If you're not absolutely furious about what Solo Sakoa did to Jacob Fatu, then you're not paying attention. This goes beyond wrestling storylines and entertainment. This is about basic human decency and the difference between right and wrong. Solo didn't just betray Jacob in a wrestling context, he tried to destroy Jacob's life. He was willing to let an innocent man go to prison just so he could maintain his grip on power. That's not the behavior of a heel character, that's the behavior of a genuine sociopath. And the fact that some fans are still defending Solo proves that people have lost sight of what really matters. This isn't about being a fan of a character, it's about recognizing criminal behavior and demanding justice. Solo Sakoa's arrest is just the beginning of the consequences he's going to face for his actions. The steel cage match at SummerSlam is going to be Jacob Fatu's chance to get the revenge he deserves, and I can't wait to see Solo get exactly what's coming to him. But this situation raises bigger questions about WWE's responsibility to protect their wrestlers from each other, both in and out of the ring. How many other wrestlers are dealing with backstage politics, false accusations, and attempts to sabotage their careers? How many other Solo Sakoas are out there, willing to destroy lives for personal gain? Comment below and tell me your predictions for SummerSlam. Do you think Jacob Fatu is going to absolutely destroy Solo Sakoa? Do you think Solo's legal troubles will end his WWE career permanently? And most importantly, are you as outraged as I am about what Solo tried to do to Jacob? Smash that like button if you want to see Solo Sakoa get the beating he deserves at SummerSlam. Subscribe for more breaking wrestling news and analysis that the mainstream wrestling media won't give you. And share this video because everyone needs to know the truth about Solo Sakoa's criminal behavior and Jacob Fatu's fight for justice. The Samoan werewolf is about to unleash years of fury on the man who betrayed him, and SummerSlam can't get here fast enough. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos, the drama, and the inside scoop only we deliver. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and join the Wrestling News CC family, where the real stories of WWE come to life. See you in the next one.